Hi guys, today I'm going to be comparing a Squire Telecaster against a Fender Telecaster. This is going to be a practical comparison video, maybe for those people who are considering buying a Squire Telecaster, or for those who are considering buying a Fender Telecaster, or maybe you're new as a guitarist and want to know if you want to take the plunge as to get a Fender, or get an affordable Squire. You may also be a professional musician. I myself have been playing professionally for the last 15 years. And I've been to many gigs where I've had beer spilt on me, people in between, sets coming up, touching all the equipment. And also you got to think about the practicalities of bringing, expensive equipment to maybe pub gigs, bar gigs, and, the chances of theft, which is very real these days. So I'm not very technically minded, so this is literally going to be a hands-on review and comparing the feel of the two, and obviously you're going to hear the sound of the two. I'm going to be playing some comparison between the two guitars, and you can decide for yourself which is better for you. But I hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, let's see. So this is my standard Fender Telecaster. I don't actually know the exact model. I'm assuming it's a standard. There's the serial number. Take a look for yourself. As I say, I've been playing now for 15 to 20 years. I'm guessing at around 15. I learned by ear. I'm not very technically minded. I'm not one of those guitarists that looks into, the height of the frets, the hard wiring, anything like that, the shape of the neck. For me, it's all about feel. As soon as I sit with a guitar, I know how I feel about it and whether or not I can see myself playing it, for a long period of time. I will say about this guitar, I've not changed it since it was delivered. It came perfectly set up, no fret buzz, and, intonation's perfect. It's just a solid guitar. I don't even know what pickups are on here. You can take a look for yourself. Probably the model will let you know. But it's got a beautiful tone. This is the neck pickup. It's obviously a free position, standard Telecaster. A few chords. Middle position. Nice bluesy tone. This is on position 1. As I say, it's a beautiful guitar, frets are perfect, well-rounded. Yeah, it's just gorgeous, to be honest with you. So I'll be comparing this against the Squire. So let's see how they compare and what the general feel is. So this is a Squire Affinity. In the UK, these trade at about £180. Obviously the US will be something different, but my initial feeling about this guitar is Squires have really upped their game since I first got a Squire in the 90s. The hardware was awful, the finish was awful on it, it felt bad. They've really upped their game. In initial fit, there are some differences in initial feel, but for 180 odd pounds, this is a great guitar for 180 odd pounds, and it sounds pretty good as well. My initial feelings are that the frets, they're sharp. They're not very well rounded or filed, however you call it. And also, this is actually a guitar of my student, one of my guitar students' guitars. And I know that she's not had this very long, and it's come with some issues. For example, I've recently set this up as best as I could, but which is why I've got it, but it had awful fret buzz. It was basically buzzing out on the F. Just now I've basically fixed that. So the intonation has now been corrected, so as delivered the intonation was wrong. Tuning pegs, obviously a lot cheaper, not Fender tuning pegs obviously, but also they're tough. They're tough to turn. There's a lot of resistance in there. But if I wanted to get a cheap guitar and then upgrade it, you can change them. It's no big deal. So the only other issue I've found is that the jack, the soldering on it is pretty poor, or the wiring's pretty poor because it cuts out. Which obviously isn't very practical if you're in the middle of the gig. You got to make sure that your lead is in the correct position to kind of mitigate that as much as possible. But do you know what? All these things can be easily fixed. And as I say, for £180, the overall feel, the finish on the back of the neck, I quite like. It's kind of like a matte effect compared to my more kind of like varnished, I don't know if it's varnished. As I say, I'm not technically minded, I just play. But it's more of a matte effect kind of neck, and it's similar shape to obviously my other Telecaster. The radius feels slightly less to me, slightly smaller neck. But for a beginner guitarist, or you know, someone that's looking to upgrade a guitar, these are great. Just look at it. I've recently polished this up, but look at the finish on it. Hopefully you can see that. But it's just a beautiful guitar for the price. You know, you can't complain at all. And just running through the tones, this is the neck pickup. These are slightly more, even though it's the same patch, all running through the same patch on my effects pedal, these are slightly more driven than the standard Fender Telecaster pickups. That's a really Telecaster-y kind of tone there. So yeah, just first impressions. This is the first time I've held this guitar in quite a while, and first time I've played it for sure. You know, it's great. For the money, you know, it's probably better for the money than what you're paying. For £180, you know, back in the day, you could get an awful guitar for £180. This isn't bad. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to play along with some tracks. I'm going to do a comparison between the two. You can listen for yourself. There's not going to be much in it, I don't think. Obviously, the overall quality of the Fender is going to be better. The sounds and tone is probably going to be better, but tone is always in kind of the eye of the listener. Is that the saying? Anyway, but thanks for watching the video. I'm going to be using Jam and backing tracks. I'm going to leave a link to their YouTube channel below. They're just producing the best backing tracks at the moment, so check them out. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Thanks a lot. I don't think I mentioned in the video, so I'm just going to post this right at the start of the video. Both of these guitars are going through exactly the same patches that I've created myself on my Line 6 Pod HD 500. There's going to be no change. It's literally going to be the same patches, a comparison between the two. I'm not driving it through an amp, it's going to go straight into my mixing desk because there's an amp modeler on there. So yeah, back to the video anyway. Cheers, thanks a lot.